Bienvenue everyone, welcome to the Vatican Museum for a night at the museum live excursion through these halls of antiquity. Some of the most famous works of art are here by Raphael, Bernini, and Michelangelo. And also we're going to see works from all around the known world during ancient Roman times through ancient Egypt all the way to the modern day. So excited to take you around this museum. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm Ariel with Urbanist, and let's keep on walking. So right now we're in the Hall of Geography. All these paintings that we're surrounded by are these geographic paintings made for the Pope and the Vatican in order to know how their country that they're running looks like. Hello Donna, hello George. Okay everyone, one of my favorite museums I've ever been to in my entire life was the Vatican Museum. I came here again a few years ago when I first ever went to Rome. This is my second time. I'm so incredibly excited to be at this museum. It's so awesome that they're opening up at 17:30, which is 19:30, which is 7:30 p.m. and I'm able to explore the museum at night. This is so incredibly amazing, and I want to share with you and find the papal apartments to talk about Raphael. Let's find it out, and let me know if you have any questions. Today it's wandering, so not so heavy on history. We're going to be a little bit light about history. We're just going to admire the beautiful art. Let's look up. Hello Jackie, finally able to join the live stream from Italy. I'm so happy you're able to tune in. Hello Casey, welcome. So we got about 2 hours to explore as much as we can of the museum. I think it's about 2 hours. There is a special concert going on in St. Peter's Basilica around 8 p.m. So maybe we'll go to there. Let's see if we can find the papal apartments first. I think that's the main attraction. And let's see if we can somehow go into the Sistine Chapel, though. That might be a little bit difficult. Hermosa las galerías de las mapas. Oh, sí, tan hermoso. And look at the beautiful artwork above. So the Vatican Museum holds one of the largest collections in the entire world. This museum is on par with the Louvre and the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York for being the largest museums of the world. Also one of the most important, with great works of art that are invaluable, like the Sistine Chapel and the Last Judgment by Michelangelo, the halls of antiquity and the papal apartments painted by Raphael, and everything we have around us. Hello Sean, hello Donna, hello Gail. Let me know where you're watching from, man. Do you love going to museums at night? And if so, which museums have you been to at night? Let us know in the comments. Oh wow, so cool. So we have depictions of the Bible. My day has been great. It's been a really awesome day. I have a poster of this one at home. I bought a poster of it when I first came here. One of my few souvenirs that I have from my first ever Italy trip. Oh, so cool seeing it in person again. Don't ask me what's the region because I have no clue. Oh, okay. Yep, I have a better clue. It's Naples. It says Neapolis. Jackie, I'm having a blast. Great history found all around here. Definitely one of my favorite cities I visited so far. Up there with London. And of course my hometown, New York City. But of cities outside New York, this is up there with London and Paris. Such a beautiful city filled with history at every corner. The ceiling is just spectacular. I think the ceiling speaks more than even anything else around us. Even this guy. Also, what I like about Italy, same case in London and Paris, is they're very relaxed with taking video inside the museum, which is not possible in the US, unless if I collaborate with the museum. But since I came here pretty short notice, I did not reach out to the Vatican Museum beforehand, but from what I've seen, they have no rules against video, and also there's a bunch of videos of the Vatican all around YouTube. So it's awesome that I haven't been told anything. I could just walk around and show you this on live video. Yeah, there's no filming in the Sistine Chapel, so I'm counting that it's a bit late and then they might not care. But if they do, you know, let's not get our hopes up. But I think the main attraction for today isn't the Sistine Chapel, because I already know that'll be the only place we can't film, but the Papal Apartments, we can. Let's go to the Papal Apartments. I once went to the M&M Museum at night, but that doesn't really count. Well, that's pretty awesome nonetheless. I hope you got some M&Ms. So right down there is the Sistine Chapel, but we're going to go up to the Papal Apartments. Or actually, this way is the Sistine Chapel. Weren't you saying that Rome or Greece was one of the places you ever wanted to visit the most? Yeah, Rome, number one, since day one of Urbanist. I also always envisioned going to Athens. But Athens will come soon. Fret not. It appears you're enjoying more Rome than Paris. Overall, yes. Paris had definitely a whole lot of beauty to it. It was a gorgeous city. Lots of amazing architecture all around. But Rome offers amazing architecture, history, and also great food. Wow. Look at this gorgeous room. So this is the room was called the Immaculate Conception. We see a depiction of the Virgin Mary right there in the middle. One of the popes, if anyone recognizes which is the pope, let us know. And before I got cut off, yeah, I'm enjoying Rome a lot because there's great history, museums, but also there's great food everywhere. Very plentiful, great food. So I'm definitely having a much easier time in Rome than I've had in any other city in terms of just deeply enjoying it in the most relaxed way possible. this is where we're going. Apartamento Bourgeois. That's where we're headed, but there is no goal in this journey. This journey is just to enjoy the beauty that we have all around us. Sean? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why. Same thing in the US. I'm not sure why many museums actually want people to take videos. Sometimes I think it might be copyright, but then again, that painting is much, much older. I'm not entirely sure where we're going through here.
You are in the roots of this is to be a beautiful papal apartment. The popes used to live here. Time of Raphael. This apartment was painted, highly painted by Raphael between the years 1508 and 1512. That's the reason why. In front of you, fireplace made of marble, which was built for the Pope Julius II. That is one enough. Built at that time, and you can still see we call this room Hall of Constantine simply because on the walls there are paintings of scenes reminding us of some stories that since Constantine. In this room, probably public events and ceremonies. Okay. In a while, I will describe to you two rooms entirely painted by Raphael, not by his pupils.
So we're looking at the papal apartments of Julius II, painted by Raphael. Now, Raphael was a contemporary of Michelangelo. Look at this beautiful artwork. How cool would it be if someone was watching my live stream while I was walking? That'd be awesome. That happened to me like twice before. One time in Central Park, and another time, I forgot where, but it was somewhere else in New York City. So yeah, you might lose me in and out, but stay tuned. Also, I think everything will be uploaded to HD, so you'll be able to watch the replay. But I'm just going to take in all these paintings. Let's all take it in because this is the main event over here. So it looks like architecture, but it's not architecture at all. One of the very defining aspects of Michelangelo, Bernini after him as well. So Raphael was a very interesting man because Raphael was jealous of Michelangelo's success. Michelangelo was very popular. Michelangelo was the superstar of that time. Think of Michelangelo almost like maybe who's a good example? Like a Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, right? Today, one of the most known men in the world. Raphael was kind of the second-hand person. Raphael was more like the Chris Hemsworth of the world at that time. Being second-hand, Raphael had a rivalry against Michelangelo because Raphael thought that Michelangelo was kind of a hack. Why? Because while Raphael painted almost everything from scratch, all by hand, Michelangelo liked to copy other famous artists, especially Leonardo da Vinci. Even when Michelangelo was very small, much younger in his late teenage years, he loved to copy so much that in his first year in school, in art school, he copied directly from his teacher. The thing is, Michelangelo is very talented. He's a genius of art. So he copied it so well that he made the paintings better. The mentor, Michelangelo, hated this and kicked him out of the school. Michelangelo was out on the streets once again, and he had to find a way to make some money. That's where he was inspired a few years later to sculpt La Pietà. But that's Michelangelo's process. He copies and then iterates and then innovates. He's a true artist. His work is truly original, but in order to start his process, he copies. And Raphael saw that that was a hack. And he thought that Michelangelo did not deserve the fame that he got. So he hated his guts. So much so that Michelangelo ended up being featured in one of Raphael's paintings in not the best light. And also, Michelangelo featured Raphael in one of his paintings, also not in the best light. Let's check it out. Michelangelo was Iron Man. Yeah, that's the only reference I could think of. That's the only superstars I know. If anyone knows any other great superstars, I was about to say Tom Cruise, but Tom Cruise, he might be super famous, but I think the new superstars are the Marvel Avengers. Let's go to the next room. And here we go. One of the most mind-blowing, famous paintings of Raphael. Now, unlike Michelangelo, Michelangelo was a man who was seriously into his work. His work was his religion. Raphael, same, but he definitely loved his pleasure. Raphael would constantly have dalliances with women in the Vatican and in Rome. So much so that Raphael, many years later, actually died right after having a night filled with intercourse. And rumors spread that Raphael enjoyed sex a little bit too much. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Right here is one of the most famous paintings ever known. It depicts the great philosophers of the ancient Greek era. And we have, the interesting thing is that Raphael paints them, but their likeness are not the likenesses of Socrates and Plato and all these other greats. They're the likenesses of his contemporary artists. The main guy over there of School of Athens is in the likeness of Leonardo da Vinci. So we have Leonardo da Vinci right there in the middle. Leonardo da Vinci was kind of like the father of all these artists that preceded Michelangelo, Raphael, Bernini, Bernini. They were all inspired by Leonardo. In essence, Leonardo was like the Tom Cruise of the Renaissance. Michelangelo, the Robert Downey Jr., Raphael, the Chris Hemsworth. And let's find Raphael. Where's Raphael? Where's Raphael? Raphael, you should be around here. Right there. Raphael included himself very sneakily into his own masterpiece. That one looking directly at the audience who ogles at this painting for the past hundreds of years. Kind of looking at us, saying, hey, are you looking at my painting? Oh yeah, you better be looking at my painting, not Michelangelo's. Definitely be looking at mine. Why? Because Michelangelo is actually the sad one over there. He is depicting a philosopher who was one of the founders of Stoicism. And Michelangelo, in pretty much in every respect, was a Stoic. He kind of persisted on, even despite the worst of circumstances. No matter how much he wanted to quit from painting the Sistine Chapel, he still persisted forward and forward and forward. But I think Raphael did this as kind of a jab. He did appreciate Michelangelo. He knew that he deserved something of his fame. He knew that he was a master artist. He just kind of didn't like the guy. And he painted him as kind of this boring stoic, at least from his eyes. All the other greats are depicted in standing, vibrant. But Michelangelo is sitting, kind of bored. So it sounds like I am making a movie. There we go. We have the Renaissance Avengers right there, basically. That'll be awesome. Who else would you cast? Let me know, who would you cast as Bernini and Bernini? Remember, Bernini is like Raphael, very flashy, very very charismatic, and Bernini was the very serious, stoic one, similar to how Michelangelo did. Right there, I think we have Minerva, which is interesting. Is that Minerva? I wonder if they all came for the painting. A lot of people did. I think this is one of the major attractions aside from the Sistine Chapel. I came here. This is why I'm bringing all of you here tonight. Now, apparently, this is not the only rooms painted by Raphael, because there is pretty substantial rumor. I wouldn't say it's more than a rumor. It's kind of it's a secret that the Vatican doesn't like talking about. Raphael apparently painted the bathrooms of Julius II, Pope Julius II. Those bathrooms has a toilet. Now we can't enter this because it's closed off to the public. You probably can't find photos, but you can find many historical accounts, and it is a thing that actually exists. This bathroom has a toilet seat. It's painted in beautiful mosaics, but in beautiful murals. The thing is that the murals here are very stoic. They're very beautiful. They're very symbolic of the greatness of the cultures that preceded the Italian Renaissance, the Greek philosophers, and all these wonderful people. But the murals in the Pope's bathroom apparently are very erotic, filled with imagery of bare, naked bodies. I don't know too much about that, But the interesting thing is the toilet. Now toilets, you know, could be interesting sometimes. If you ever seen the toilet history video I did in London, it's pretty much the only time I've talked about a toilet. This will be the second time I talk about a toilet, a cool toilet. Because the toilet that they have inside the Pope's secret bathrooms that are real, but they do keep a secret, it has a hole underneath. It's not a working toilet. Well, it's not really a toilet to do your business. It's a ceremonial toilet. Because, according to very good resources, historical accounts, the Pope, every time he's elected, has to sit on the toilet. I'm not sure if they still practice this, but there are historical accounts that this happened. They used to have the Pope sit down, and in the toilet, his stuff would hang. Naturally, it happens with every man. One of the cardinals is tasked with reaching into the opening that's underneath the toilet and going up and feeling if he is truly a man. Again, you can find a lot of historical accounts on this. But why do they want to verify that he is indeed a man, any pope that's elected? Well, the thing is that many centuries ago, around like the 13th, 14th Pope, that Pope was called Pope John. He was Pope John the First. Pope John the First. But wait a minute. You go back to the accounts, there's no Pope John the First. Well, it's because apparently Pope John the First was erased from history. There's many accounts of Pope John the First, but they kind of don't talk about it. Why? Because Pope John the First was also named Pope Joan. Now this is more rumor. I don't really know if this is true. There's a lot of stories about this, a lot of historical accounts talking about this rumor, but there's no proof, there's no real evidence. But according to the stories, Pope John I was actually a woman in disguise as a man. Now, according to the story, which is a little bit more crazy and probably not true, is that Pope Joan was actually riding through the streets of Rome in haste. Something was happening, and she was riding on a horse. Of course, everyone thought she was a man, but she ended up actually being pregnant by having the son of one of the other cardinals, and then giving birth in the middle of the street. Now, that's probably myth. Whether Pope John was actually a Joan, it's actually more of an interesting story. It might be true. That might be one of the reasons why they have that secret bathroom somewhere attached to these rooms with these type of murals, but way more graphic. There's a little secret for you. Toilets and hygienes in general play a major role throughout history. Oh, actually, yeah, this is the third cool toilet I've talked about in history, because I talked also about the ones in Versailles. Alright, let's keep walking around. I hope everyone heard me. I was whispering definitely a lot. Say goodbye to the School of Athens. Oh, there's another person looking at us. 2, 3. Oh, there's a few more looking at us. And they all kind of look like Raphael. Interesting. Gail, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. Now, it's funny, you see these walls in kind of very low-end Italian-American restaurants in like New York City, especially in Brooklyn. Oh, we found the Pope's toilets. No, never mind, that's the public ones. So here's more modern works. Wow, that looks amazing. This is Libretto Anderotti.
I'm sorry, do you mind to remove the earphone, please? This is for you, because the guys don't recycle them, and they don't want this earphones, so thank you. Just the radius.
I'm still here. If you can hear me, let me know.